do a little bit of it's kind of a poll, but it's like 10 questions, and I'd like you to give yourself a score of 1 to 10. I'm going to ask you to classify yourself according to these 10 criteria. Okay, so we'll do it quickly. I'm not asking you to share in the chat, but at the end, I'll ask you to share your score, and we'll see what the scores are. Okay, some people will recognize this already. Okay, so if you are white, give yourself a score of 1. If you're not, it's a 0. If you're male, that counts as 1. If you're heterosexual, that counts as 1. If you're cisgender versus transgender, then give yourself a score of 1. So people in chemistry will know cisgender, the difference between cis and trans. So cis is where your biological sex organs match your gender identity, and trans is where they're on the opposite side. Okay, they're opposite. So cis versus trans, cis and trans. If you're born before 1980, this counts as a 1. If you are Christian or non-religious, that counts as 1. Okay, keep tabs, keep your score. If you own property, including your own home, that counts as 1. If you can speak English goodly, that counts as 1. If you've got a uni degree, that counts as 1. And if you're able-bodied, that counts as 1. Okay, so you should have a score. I'm going to ask you now, in the chat, will you please type in the score that you got, and we'll see what the results are. See what the average is. Okay, so this doesn't surprise me. Okay, it doesn't surprise me that we've got an average of 8 or 9 or 10. So whenever I've done this with senior groups or leadership groups, it's not surprising that we get numbers like this. So this is about privilege for people who haven't got that yet, and I'm not sure many people here have already figured this out. So privilege is an unearned advantage, and the thing with privilege is it gives you a head start. It doesn't mean that you don't have to work hard and you didn't work hard, but it gives you a head start. So all of these things here that we saw are things around privilege. So I didn't choose that I was born able-bodied. Like I did work really hard for my uni degree, but I was in a position where my parents could support me to allow me to study. I was also one of the last groups of people who got free university education in Australia, and after that, you had to pay, and there's debts that are accumulated. You can speak English fluently. It gives you an advantage. If you own property, like I worked really hard to buy the house that I live in, and of course you have to work hard for that, but it was a lot easier if you were born before 1980. It's become a lot harder now. If you're Christian or if you're Christian, then by happy coincidence, your main feast days happen to be public holidays. If you're some other religion, then if you want to observe them, then you have to take extra time off and so on. So all of these things give you an advantage. So I think of it as like, if you're running a race, if you're running a 100-meter race, every point that you accumulated gives you a 10-meter head start. So for me as well, everyone except for the first really obvious one, so I scored 9 out of 10 as well. And I reckon if I was running a 100-meter race and I had a 90-meter head start on Usain Bolt, I think I'll probably still win. Okay, so this is what privilege gives us.